Hello and welcome to this channel where I talk about trading in the crypto market. I am going to show you guys how I enter these trades, what I look for before entering the trades, and most importantly, some of the rules that I never break.
To start this off, I am going to be reading some of the tweets from famous influencers regarding their expectations on BTC the coming days, weeks, or months. From Crypto Rover, he said that BTC's bear market is currently over. Crypto Rover is a YouTuber who posts his own personal TA and expectation of price towards the future. From T Analyst, he said that the Bitcoin's great bull run is beginning. T Analyst is the CEO of Source Strategy, a trader and a former professor on mathematical logic. From Bitcoin Analyst, he said that almost 1 million new addresses or accounts hold at least one Bitcoin, and is stressing on the fact that it is a new all-time high. Bitcoin Analyst brings us the latest news, insight, and commentary on Bitcoin.
Hello guys, alright, so welcome back. Now we're going to be talking about BTC. And we are on the 1 minute time frame, so we're talking about very low. But I am going to take this opportunity to actually show you guys my tactics and how I look to enter trades. So I start off by blotting out all supply and demand zones that I see. So I see quite a few demand zones, which are strong as hell. And yeah, there's also a few down here. Alright, so this whole thing is one big demand zone. There's just a lot of loopholes in between, so they're not very accurate. So what I do is, after that, we try and look for the box method. Box method will definitely help us here. So we can box this from up here. Then we can see that the price broke out, it went back in, and then flew back. So what we do is we take from down here, we box this up now. Now let's see, so price flew out here, came back and it's still testing. So now you can see the price test here, or here. But remember, if it breaks past this, that would mean these two, this whole thing is invalid. So I would still lean towards the fact it would come here and bounce away. Now once it's up here, maybe we can look to sell to hit these demand zones. So at the same time, we have to measure out the possibilities of what happens and when. So there are quite a few things that can turn out here, but let's see, because at the same time here it just follows a little small supply again. So on the lower time frame, it's just me showing you how that I don't really trade on the 1 minute. I'll show you an example with ETH instead. Wait, yeah, but I'll just delete this. Alright, so we can start off by looking at all of the demand zones as well. Same thing like this. We'll see, this would have been perfect right here. This like a sweet little top zone right there. You see that? Alright. Now what we do is zoom out a little bit. Yeah. So from there, we box this up, right? And then we see price out, in, out, in, out. That's it. You get another box, you box it up like that. Now this one here is a BOS, or break of structure, because it broke out. It's only supposed to come into test. So it went all the way up and then back inside. So what did that mean? That would mean it broke this whole line right there, which created a whole new box. Because sometimes you do lose your trades. It is inevitable. So what happens now? It broke out and it came back into test. This one we're looking for a fly back up. But since as you can see here, let me just use this one. It connects supply, the demand zone and the box. So what would that mean? That means this is a zone we are definitely going to be looking out for right here. Around this parts. So which would mean this is the best entry I would be looking at. So I want price to come all the way down here first. Then I can look to ride it all the way up. That's the way I'm seeing things now in terms of Ethereum, but this is on a very small time frame and price is too volatile, which is why on the higher time frames that's what I tend to do. Looking at Solana, let's see. So this is one big one right here, of course, and then of course we start off by plotting out the demands, and then right here as well. Remember, these spaces in between don't mean anything. These in between is what I'm talking about. They are just one big demand zone. There's no such thing as huge separations in between them. This is actually a supply zone connected through this part right here. Now I think we continue and do the box method to clarify about what are we seeing here. So from here, definitely a breakout, and came out the test and flew from here. So I'm gonna box this whole thing up. And then what are we seeing now? So we saw a little breakout maybe from here, test, break. So quick little, exactly what I'm trying to say right now, right? So from now, we can see down here, price broke out there. So it came back in the test. I am looking that price will come here, or maybe here. But then we're going to look at it to flat up here and then come down. We need to map out how we want things to look. That's what I always say. And if you make a mistake, there's no problem. It's not something to give up on. Oh yeah, and then so we can move on to ADA right now. So looking at ADA on the smaller time frame, yeah, so right here, supply zones, demand zones I meant demand zones. And then, yeah, from here, so we can see maybe price action down, and then up. Or we can do confirmation through box first if that is something we would like to see. So we can go up, came back into test right there. So we would box that whole thing up. Only then will we check this one went out, but it broke BOS structure right there. But actually it did come out, but I wouldn't count because of the thin structure right there. So this is already a negative zone, if you understand that. And then since this one already broke out, this is a whole new box right here. This whole thing is a new box. So now based on this, we're looking to sell, right? So as you sell, we're looking same things over here or here and then go. So from here, I would see, okay, where do I stop? I need a supply zone. So a supply zone would definitely be somewhere around these heights. That's where I would look. See prices coming down right now. Only then would I be seeing anything on that area. So after price action comes and goes down, then from here we look to drop it. Any other alternatives? Yeah, but of course if you see anything can happen, right? So if it comes here, then we look to sell. And after we sell, if it's bullish on the higher time frame, then definitely from here we sell down, but then at the same time from here we look to buy up all the way, because we are bullish on the higher time frames. be looking at BTC first, and yeah, so today looking at BTC, it's just trading in one same old range. And over here, this was a good little demand zone right here, which was perfect entry point for a short-term long. And yeah, so looking to sell, if ever, we can see somewhere around these parts up here. So yeah, if we were to see some price movements, maybe tap somewhere around the 80% of this area and then fall back down to maybe, oh yeah, right here, this blue zone here. So this 80% on the higher time frame, and then it will go up. That's maybe what we're looking at. Or we can see maybe based on, let's see, the box method up here. Yeah, so from here we can see that price actually did break down. Here, this is where price broke down. It entered here and went out. So based on that, we can see a little position here, and then we can see price did break out again, broke back in, went out. Okay, so from here, if we're looking based on this, price broke out right there, broke out, it actually did come back in the test. So based on that, this is our last box, and we can see that price broke out here. So we also might be seeing somewhere how it comes back in here to test, maybe even come back to the same demand zone, then fly back out. There are multiple options here, but the one stable one we can look at is if price ends up going up here, then goes down. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm looking at right now in terms of BTC. If we look at Ethereum, smaller time frame, yeah, so this is still standing, the same demand zone down here. Yeah, so we can extend this out somewhere there, and we're looking at the 80%, which is somewhere about there. Yeah, and then aside from that, we can see some supply zones made up here in the lower time frame. So that will be cool if price ends up going up here, tapping around the 80%, and then coming down maybe to fly back up, because this is definitely bullish on the higher time frame. What else can we see here? Yeah, so we can see the box method on the shorter. So like, let's say this one right here. Then we see price broke here basically, then came back into test. So that will be something like that. Okay, so based on this one, we can definitely see a more obvious location we are hitting, because so far since it broke, it's never come back to test yet. But it might be on that regime right now. And based on this one, we will be looking somewhere around this area to get a nice little maybe short in with a 1.5 ratio for safety. That will be somewhere around here. And then maybe we can look at longs maybe from here, right? The supply zone down there, but also right here. See, this whole thing was a demand, but it's been multiply tapped. So if we bring it down a little bit more, somewhere around this area, which was only slightly tapped, which would mean if instead of going back here, it comes down here somewhere, more in the 80% around this line right there. That would be perfect. And maybe straight after there it would be going right up here to look for a quick little short as usual. This is still the same demand zone if you guys are wondering. Yeah, that's definitely where I'm looking for Ethereum at the moment. Going to Solana. Ooh, Solana had some crazy moves recently. Yeah, so so this was already a tap demand zone here. It came down, so if price ends up coming here, we will be looking at a fly going up. Yeah, it's definitely what we're looking at. That's a good thing to look for, and then based on, maybe we can say, no, wait, not that one, this one. We look at the top, looking for buys, so we look at the top. And then, so this one broke out here, did come back into test. But that's about where it broke, so that'd be about that big of a box. But since then, still no movement within that range since this breakout. So that would mean if price went here, went back up here, right? So if it comes here and then goes up, or from here itself, when it comes down here, comes back into this box, then comes down to go up. Both ways we can see price movement in Solana. In terms of supply zones, let's see, maybe this is one good one actually right here. So right after this movement to go up, retest, come to the demand zone. After demand goes up to the supply, then we can look for a quick scalp short again. Yeah, definitely. In terms of short-term demand zones, maybe somewhere here, you can look for another scalp. This is another demand zone. Yeah. Okay, so for ADA, let's see, what were we looking at last? Yeah, so this is definitely the 80% of the demand zone, somewhere here. Ooh, so it almost touched. Almost, and yeah, so based on this, where price is at the moment, we can see some supply zones over here. This is definitely another demand zone that has formed in the lower time frame. And then maybe we can see, so with that being said, somewhere here, then a fly up. Or maybe after that fly up, we can see it go straight up to this supply. And then a movement down, because Solana is trading in a range at the moment. So we can look at a position either here or in the 80% of this, or somewhere here. In terms of sells, maybe I'm thinking here. Definitely there. That's about it actually for ADA as well. Although, wait, let's try to see the box method on this one here. Yeah, so this is definitely one hell of a big sell over there. Huge orders placed, and then so this one you can see price broke up and broke back in and then went up. It's exactly what we're looking for. So that's when price broke out, and right here we can see the box method in place. So here when it broke out, it actually did not test at all. No tests. Yep, no tests at all. The test would have been there. It came back into test somewhere here, so that would mean from this high to this low is the next box, and is still trading in the same range. So we need to see both ways. So it's, if it goes up, maybe straight supply and then demand, or from here, if it changes course, it goes down to this or this demand, then it goes up to this supply. Then we can look for a little short up there. That's definitely where I'm at for ADA. Do let me know what other coins you would like me to take a look at and show you more TA on. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.